All right, let's get to Tucker Carlson.
Announcing plans to relaunch his show, this time on Twitter. Carlson made the announcement in a video
He's
posted
so
to
done.
Twitter.
Dude, it's so over. I'm sorry. Anyone who's ever watched a fucking Twitter video knows one thing and one thing only, and that is Twitter video is dog shit. Okay? Good luck to Tucker Carlson. Yeah, you're gonna do a 30-minute show on Twitter? Suck my dick. No one is gonna be able to watch more than a minute and a half without that shit reloading. Are you joking? Twitter does not have the bandwidth. Twitter, even before Elon Musk, was horrible at serving video. So that's number one. I have a lot of thoughts on this issue. I'm going to get to the rest of them in a second. But here's Tucker Carlson's dumbass monologue from his wood panel house.
You can't have a free society if people aren't allowed to say what they think is true. Speech is the fundamental prerequisite for democracy. That's why it's enshrined in the first of our constitutional amendments. Amazingly, as of tonight, there aren't many platforms left that allow free speech. The last big one remaining in the world, the only one, is Twitter.
It's funny. I mean, I love saying that, like, Twitter is the place for free speech when we all know that that's not the case. It's not. It's not the case for free speech. It is ridiculous that, like, Twitter is considered the platform for free speech when it's like free speech is not paying Elon Musk. Why didn't he go to Parler? Good question. Possibly because Parler is bullshit. Do you think this might be a conspiracy to increase Tucker's reach by putting him exclusively on Twitter? I remember when the Super Bowl, when Rupert and Elon sat next to each other. Quite the coincidence and interesting timing. No, dude, what are you, crazy? Rupert Murdoch does not want Tucker Carlson to leave Fox News and, like, have prominence. What are you, out of your mind? No. Tucker Carlson, if I'm not mistaken, is owed $26 million. That's the number I saw. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this. And he's, like, willing to forego that in order to keep pumping out content, because he knows that he will lose relevance. Fox News will starve him out. If he wants the $25 million, he's gonna lose everything. In this media cycle, in this day and age, dude, if you're not steadily pumping out content, you're fucking gone. You're yesterday's news. But you're probably yesterday's news if you're a conservative commentator, regardless, when you find yourself online. What do I mean by this? Well, what I mean is simple. There are big dogs in the online sphere. Daily Wire comes to mind, right? They do not have a fraction of the real politic power that Tucker Carlson has. Tucker Carlson, on primetime television at Fox News, was able to bring the likes of Kevin McCarthy and bully them. Politicians openly talked about on background, and even anonymously, and even sometimes openly, how terrified they were of Tucker Carlson's influence and the power that he held. And you saw it. I mean, they would literally go on his show and be berated by him. So a lot of that was not because Tucker Carlson is a particularly effective propagandist. He is, certainly. But because that is the primetime slot. The entire purpose of Fox News is to manipulate the Republican Party to better do the bidding of their corporate masters. That's number one. And number two is, Tucker Carlson on the primetime slot commanded a gigantic audience of primary voters. Tucker Carlson on Twitter, on the other hand, is an entirely different story. The reason for Tucker Carlson's prominence is the primetime slot, as we already talked about. But now that that's gone, and he's not even on TV, and he's on Twitter instead of, like, YouTube with the Daily Wire or, I don't know, any other fucking platform, he's super duper cooked. You can look at, like, these 3-minute videos and how many views they have on Twitter and be a fucking absolute baboon about it and think, like, that 22 million Twitter views actually means something when it doesn't. Especially considering that Twitter video counts as a view as long as, like, 50% of the video is showing as it auto plays on your fucking timeline as you're scrolling past it. Yeah, that's not real, dog. Those aren't real fucking views. It's entirely different than, like, having every goddamn retirement home and every goddamn every goddamn airport, playing his shit on TV nonstop to a captive audience. Doesn't work that way. If Bill O'Reilly fell off, if Glenn Beck fell off, if Megyn Kelly fell off, Tucker Carlson is also going to fall off. And Megyn Kelly actually went to another TV network after, and she still fell off. Now, it won't look like Tucker Carlson fell off. Why? Because he's on Twitter and because Elon loves him. So it won't look like he fell off because they'll juice his shit. They'll make him as unmanageably annoying as humanly possible. He won't shut the fuck up. He will keep getting, like, a tremendous amount of views on Twitter. And worse than that, journalists will constantly talk about it because, let's be real, myself included, we are media demons, and anyone who's in the media loves Twitter and can't shut the fuck up about what's going on Twitter. Now, there's funny moments that come from that, like the Good Doctor episodes that have been popping, Dr. Han versus Dr. Surgeon. Not a great representation of autism, in my opinion, but, what are you going to do? And then there are really annoying versions of this, like, for example, every blue check mark that is saying the dumbest shit with the utmost confidence on the platform. Tucker Carlson represents the blue check mark brigade. He says things that they agree with. He says things almost specifically to them. That is the reason why I believe Elon will juice him. That is the reason why I also think journalists will constantly talk about him. I can't believe Tucker Carlson said this. We got to write a Daily Beast article on it. Week after week after week until it gets boring, and then inevitably journalists stop. But having said that, Tucker Carlson will no longer have a fraction of the real world political capital, political power that he once had when he had the Fox News primetime slot. That's it. He's cooked. It's Joever. That's what I think. It might not look like he's cooked, but he actually is.
Twitter is not a partisan site. Everybody's allowed here, and we think that's a good thing. And yet, for the most part, the news that you see analyzed on Twitter comes from media organizations that are themselves thinly disguised propaganda outlets. You see it on cable news. You talk about it on Twitter. The result may feel like a debate, but actually the gatekeepers are still in charge. We think that's a bad system. We know exactly how it works, and we're sick of it. Starting soon, we'll be bringing a new version of the show we've been doing for the last 6.5 years to Twitter. We'll be bringing some other things too, which we'll tell you about.
Who's we, motherfucker?
Now, we're just grateful to
what
be
is
here.
This? Are we speaking
Free
French?
Speech.
Are we speaking French? We. Who's we? He keeps saying we're coming. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Who is the we? Bro, you have a Twitter show, dog. Welcome to the fucking Little Leagues, bitch. You're officially under me, okay? Suck my cock, Tucker Carlson. Guess what? I'm on Twitch, okay? It's a platform that is literally better than Twitter. Think about that. Every dumb motherfucker that's chirping on Twitter literally would love to be in my shoes instead. All those motherfuckers that constantly are in the shit like, oh, Hasan is not doing enough activism because he didn't give me $1,000 personally, so suck my dick. Oh, please subscribe to my Substack. All those motherfuckers inevitably want to become Twitch streamers or podcasters. Tucker Carlson is literally a level below podcasters. Think about that. Think about how pathetic that is, dude. Oh my God. At least have the dignity and go to like AM radio or something, you fucking idiot. You went on Twitter? Oh, Jesus Christ, this is so good. You're literally a poster, dog. Welcome to Poster's Paradise. Now, you're in the muck. You're in the thick of it with all the rest of the mentally ill charlatans of the fucking world. Have fun. You went from primetime television, you blew it, and I don't know if it was because you were like fucked Rupert Murdoch's like wife-to-be, former fiance, or what you fucking did. But here you are in your plaid shirt, in your fucking wooden house, talking about we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna do white supremacy on Twitter. Suck my dick, dude. Good luck. Tim Pool is gonna lap you, brother. You're so fucked. Oh, it feels great. Oh, it feels so fucking good to see it, dude. God, couldn't have happened to a worse person, you know what I mean? Oh my God. Oh, chef's kiss. Dumbass. Bro's in the piss dimension. What's this lighting? I'm using the Tucker Carlson filter.
This is a man who has been embarrassed publicly, has lost his job publicly. This feels like a last gasp in the same way that Elon Musk owning Twitter feels like the last gasp of trying to be relevant. It's a dying social network, like no one knows who's verified. The people who are verified are now unhinged. I just don't see what he gets out of this. And his audience is largely older, doesn't know how to have two-factor verification, especially not using their phone. So I don't see this as some great comeback. I see this as just diminishing returns in every way and embarrassing.
I think that's interesting, but I would also just caution that reports of his demise and of Twitter's may be premature because, Tucker, I think, does have a grip on a large portion of America. And if you read the comments under his announcement, people are like, can't wait, the hell with Fox. Like, they're ready to go wherever he's going.
Yeah, because you're an idiot and you fucking see blue checkmark people and don't realize that, like, one, Twitter views are not real, and two, you're engaging in the dumbest form of, like, sampling bias. You literally look at blue check marks and you basically hand it to Elon. You see it as valid. It's not. So many motherfuckers are 30 followers just saying the most unhinged shit under those posts. It doesn't mean anything.
One of the ways that he had power in these rooms where it happened is that he did have the ear, and in fact, often more than the ear of some politicians like Kevin McCarthy. He got Kevin McCarthy to hand over the tapes from January 6th. He was very influential in Republican political circles. Do you think that he will still have that?
Well, I think that influence still exists. Will it wane a little bit? We'll have to see. I think, again, if you look at somebody like Ron DeSantis, he was easily able to get...
How many times has Kevin McCarthy individually in person appeared on the Daily Wire? How many times? How many times has Kevin McCarthy appeared on Bill O'Reilly's show? It exists. It's out there. It's like number 700 on the news podcasting world. How many times has any prominent Republican politician appeared on the Blaze Network? The only one that does it is Ted Cruz. Sometimes Dan Crenshaw. Don't be ridiculous.